Move. Get out of our way, you dumb mechanic. That was the first thing people heard as the silver BMW screeched into the repair shop, almost hitting the man standing near the entrance. The man was Marcus Hale, a 42-year-old black mechanic with grease-stained hands, tired eyes, and a voice so gentle it didn't match his rough jab. He stepped back quickly as 3 young rich men climbed out of the car, all wearing expensive suits, shiny watches, and careless arrogance. The tallest one, Troy, shoved him by the shoulder. I said move. We don't want some dumb oil boy touching our car. Call the real mechanic. Marcus blinked slowly, swallowing his pride. Sir, I am the mechanic here. The boys burst into laughter. You, bro, look at him. Man probably can't even spell engine. People waiting in the shop whispered uncomfortably, but no one said anything, because this was normal. Marcus was used to it. Sir, Marcus said calmly, what seems to be the problem? Troy snapped. The problem is that you are near my car. He tossed the keys at Marcus hard, hitting him in the chest. Just fix it, stupid, if you don't break it further. Marcus bent down, picked up the keys quietly, and nodded. Inside, something hurt, but his face stayed peaceful. He opened the hood, and the boys leaned close, smirking. Watch this monkey mess it up. Bet he doesn't even know what he's touching. Marcus ignored them, until he saw something that made his eyes widen. The engine hadn't failed. Someone had sabotaged it, on purpose. And recently, parts were missing. Bolts were loosened. Wires were cut so neatly, it could only be the work of someone trained. Marcus whispered, this wasn't from driving. Someone wanted this car ruined. Troy rolled his eyes. Here we go? The dumb mechanic thinks he's Sherlock Holmes. Marcus looked up slowly. You boys didn't touch this engine? No. Why? Marcus's voice dropped. Serious. Because whoever did this wanted the car to explode? The boys froze. What? What do you mean explode? Troy said, suddenly nervous. Marcus pointed. This cut here, if you had driven another 2 miles, the engine would have overheated and blown. You'd be dead. For the first time, the boys looked scared. Troy tried to laugh it off. Man, whatever. Just fix it. But Marcus noticed something else. A slip of paper stuck inside the wiring. He pulled it out carefully. On it was a short message. Troy, tell your father his secrets won't stay hidden, a friend. Marcus's heartbeat jumped. This wasn't a simple car problem. This was personal, dangerous. A warning. He looked at the boys, and suddenly, Troy didn't look arrogant anymore. He looked terrified. Marcus lowered his voice. Do any of you know who would want to hurt you? The youngest boy whispered. Bro. Someone broke into our garage last night. Troy kicked him. Shut up. Don't tell him anything. Marcus stood taller. Listen to me. If someone is after you, this is not a joke. This is attempted murder. Troy's mouth fell open. What should we do? Marcus stared at him for a long moment. Here were the same boys who mocked him, called him dumb, laughed at him. But Marcus didn't see enemies. He saw 3 scared kids in trouble. He closed the hood gently. First, he said, you need to tell me everything that happened last night. Troy hesitated, then nodded. But before he could speak aloud, bangs shook the building. Someone outside had smashed a window of the repair shop. Everyone jumped. Marcus ran out and froze. A black car with tinted windows sped away, leaving behind a brick on the ground, with another note taped to it. You can't save them, Marcus. Stay out of this, or you die too. Marcus felt the world tilt. How do they know my name? He whispered. The boys stared at him, pale. Life had just gotten much bigger and much darker than a broken engine. The brick lay on the ground like a threat made of stone. Marcus bent down slowly, his hands shaking as he peeled the note off the cold surface. You can't save them, Marcus. Stay out of this, or you die too. He stared at the handwriting, sharp, angry, familiar in a way that made his stomach twist. Troy stepped closer. Bro, why does that note have your name on it? Marcus didn't answer. Not because he didn't want to, but because he couldn't. His past, the one he buried years ago, had just clawed its way back. A crowd gathered, whispering. The shop owner, Mr. Ramos, rushed out. Marcus, are you okay? Who did this? Marcus hid the note behind his back. Just kids messing around. But Troy snatched the paper out of his hand. He read it once, and his face drained of color. Why? Why would someone threaten you if they're after me? Marcus closed his eyes briefly. Because nothing is ever simple. Troy grabbed his arm. Stop talking in riddles. What do you know? Marcus took a slow breath. This wasn't the moment he wanted. But the moment had arrived. Boys, he said carefully, come inside, all of you. They followed him into the back room, a small office cluttered with tools, old photos, and dusty certificates. The youngest boy, Liam, pointed at a framed paper on the wall. Hey, I thought you were just a mechanic. Why does this say you were? A top engineer for the military. Marcus's jaw tensed. He forgot he'd left that on the wall. The boys looked at him differently now, confused, scared, curious. Troy crossed his arms. Start talking. Marcus sank into his chair, rubbing his forehead. Years ago, he began, voice heavy, I wasn't a mechanic. I worked for the military, fixing machines, engines, vehicles. But I also worked in intelligence. Liam gasped. Like a spy. Marcus shot him a warning look. Not exactly, but close enough to cause trouble. He continued. One day our team uncovered something dangerous, a smuggling operation run by powerful people. I reported it, and it ruined someone's business. Someone rich. Someone connected. He exhaled slowly. They swore revenge. On me? Troy's voice broke slightly. And now, they're coming after me. Marcus met his eyes. Not by accident. Troy swallowed. So, what does this have to do with my dad? Marcus didn't move, didn't breathe, because he knew the name written on that old file. He knew the man behind the threats. A man he once investigated. Troy's father. But he couldn't say it. Not yet, Liam whispered. Marcus, is someone trying to kill us? Marcus didn't sugarcoat. Yes. The room went still, cold as steel. Marcus stood. Tell me everything that happened last night. Troy hesitated, then finally spoke. Someone broke into our garage. They didn't take anything. They just left a message on our car windshield. What message? Marcus asked. Troy looked scared to say it out loud. It said, your father knows what he did. Marcus's heart sank. The pieces were coming together, and the picture they formed wasn't pretty. Troy, Marcus said slowly, did your father ever mention trouble? A threat? Someone from his past? Troy nodded. He got letters. A lot of them. But he told us to stay quiet. He said it was just a crazy man. Marcus clenched his jaw. He knew exactly who that crazy man was. Suddenly, the shop window exploded as a metal pipe crashed through the glass. The boys screamed. Marcus grabbed them and pulled them behind the counter. From outside, tires screeched. A car sped off. Troy crawled to the window and saw a spray-painted message on the sidewalk. Marcus, back off. Marcus grabbed his phone. His hands shook faintly. Troy stared at him. What are you doing? Marcus answered with steel in his voice. Calling someone who owes me a favor. Liam whispered. Someone from your old life. Marcus didn't even blink. Someone who keeps people alive. He pressed call. The phone rang twice. A deep voice answered. Marcus Hale. I hoped this day would never come. Marcus responded quietly. It came. The deep voice on the phone froze the entire room. Even Troy, who thought he feared no one, swallowed hard. Marcus, the voice repeated, low and calm. Where are you? Marcus glanced at the boys hiding behind the counter. Hale Auto Shop? Someone just attacked us. The voice paused. You're not alone, are you? No, Marcus said. 3 kids with me? Are they hurt? No, but they're the targets. A sharp inhale came from the other end. Then listen closely. Lock every door. Do not step outside. Do not talk to police. I'm on my way. The call ended. Troy whispered, Who the heck was that? Marcus stood slowly, pulling the boys to their feet. Someone who used to watch my back. Someone who disappeared off every record 10 years ago. Liam's eyes widened. Why? Marcus didn't answer. Because the truth was too big to drop while glass still crunched under their shoes. The ARRVL 15 minutes later. Headlights flashed outside. Not 1 car, 2, 3, all black SUVs. Troy panicked. Bro, they found us. Marcus raised a hand. Stay behind me. The shop door clicked, swung open, and in walked a tall man with a shaved head, heavy boots, and eyes that looked like they had seen war. Marcus, he said softly. Marcus nodded. Cal? Troy blinked. Cal? Who? The tall man answered with a stare so cold. Troy shut up instantly. My full name isn't important, Cal said. But Marcus knows what I am. Liam whispered. What are you? Cal cracked a faint, humorless smile. The kind of person you call when the police can't save you? The truth begins to SURAFACKL, turned to Marcus. Show me the note. Marcus handed him the threat. Stay out of this, or you die too. Cal studied the handwriting. His jaw tightened. This is him. Marcus nodded grimly. I know. Troy stepped forward. Him? Who's him? Why are people trying to kill us? Cal and Marcus exchanged a look. Then Marcus finally said what he'd been holding back. Troy, your father wasn't always a businessman. Troy frowned. What do you mean? Marcus took a slow, painful breath. Troy, years ago, your father helped the man we tried to bring down. He wasn't the enemy, but he was the money behind the enemy. Troy froze. Cal continued, voice like gravel. He funded weapons shipments, illegal parts, black market materials. He wasn't just involved, he made it possible. Troy shook his head violently. No, my dad's strict, but he's not a criminal. Marcus stepped closer. I'm sorry, but he was part of something dark. Troy backed away, breathing fast. You're lying. Cal spoke quietly. We have files, photos, messages. Your father was supposed to come clean. He refused. Troy's voice cracked. He never told us anything. Marcus placed a hand on his shoulder. Troy, someone thinks your father betrayed them. They want revenge, and they're using you to get to him. Liam whimpered. So, they'll kill us. Cal didn't sugarcoat. They'll try. The room fell cold. The footage that changes EVRYTHING suddenly. Cal's phone buzzed. He tapped the screen. A video played. A man wearing a hood stood in a dark room. His voice was distorted, but his message was clear. Marcus Hale. The mechanic who wasn't supposed to survive. I told you to stay out. Now you've involved the boy. Tonight, I finish what I started. The video cut off. Troy stumbled backward. He knows where we are. Cal nodded. He's coming. Marcus clenched his fists. Then we prepare. Cal looked at him hard. Marcus, this is your one chance. Walk away. I'll protect the kids. But if you stay, Marcus cut him off. I'm not leaving them. Troy stared at him. Why? We treated you like garbage. Marcus's voice softened. Because you're children, and because no one deserves to die for another man's sins. Troy wiped his eyes. No smart comments, no arrogance, just fear, and something like respect. The reveal of Marcus's real SKLL. Cal lifted a tarp from the corner of the shop. Under it was a workbench. not of tools, but of weapons, hidden, for 10 years, Liam gasped. You're not a mechanic, are you? Marcus shook his head slowly. No, I'm a man who once built machines to save lives. And now, I'm going to save yours. Troy whispered. What do we do? Marcus looked at them with steady, determined eyes. We get ready. Because tonight, they're coming for all of us. A rumble of engines echoed in the distance. Cal whipped his head toward the window. They're early, he said. Marcus stepped forward. Then, so are we. Engines growled outside the shop like hungry wolves circling their prey. Cal peeked through the broken window. 3 SUVs, same men from the video, armed. Troy's legs shook. We're gonna die. No, Marcus said firmly. Not tonight. He walked toward the back wall and flipped a hidden switch. A steel panel slid open, revealing a narrow escape. Tunnel used during his old missions. Liam's mouth fell open. You have a secret tunnel. Marcus gave a tight smile. Old habits. Cal's voice dropped. Marcus, we split up. I'll slow them. You take the boys through the tunnel. Marcus shook his head. No. If they're coming for me, they'll kill you first. Cal grabbed his arm. Let them try. Their eyes locked. 2 men tied by a dangerous past. Neither could escape. Bang, bang, bang. Gunshots exploded outside. Troy, Liam, and Jonah dove behind a shelf. Cal whispered harshly. They're testing the glass. They'll shoot their way in. Troy panicked. We need the cops. Call them. Marcus looked him straight in the eyes. The man coming for us owns half the department. If we call the police, we hand ourselves over. Troy's jaw dropped. Who is this guy? Marcus finally said the name he'd avoided for years. Victor Kane. The boys shivered. They'd heard the name whispered in their father's business calls, muttered during late-night arguments. Spoken like something poisonous, Marcus continued. He used your father. Then your father tried to cut ties. Kane doesn't forgive betrayal. Troy's voice cracked. So he's coming after us. Marcus nodded. To hurt your father the way he hurt him? Cal interrupted. They're moving. 5 men, coming to the main entrance. Marcus thought fast. Troy, Liam, Jonah, stay behind me, no matter what. But before anyone could move, the shop door blasted inward. Shards of wood flew everywhere, and in stepped a monster of a man, Victor Kane, tall, cold, sharp eyes that made your spine fold. A scar across his cheek like a warning carved into his skin. He clapped slowly. Well, Marcus Hale, the ghost who refused to stay dead. The boys trembled. Marcus stepped forward. Leave them out of this, Kane. They're kids. Kane grinned. I know. That's what makes their father easy to control. Troy shouted. Why? Why are you doing this? What did my dad do? Kane chuckled. Your father stole money from me, lied to me, tried to escape, and now I want everything he loves destroyed. He raised his gun, straight at Troy. Jaw Troy froze. Marcus didn't. He dove forward, grabbed a metal oil pan, and deflected the shot. Bang. The bullet ricocheted off the hood of a car. Cal sprang from behind a shelf, tackling one of Kane's men. Chaos erupted. Gunshots, screams, tools flying, engines rumbling like trapped beasts. Marcus grabbed the boys and shoved them behind a heavy toolbox. Stay here. Don't move. He sprinted across the shop floor, sliding under a table as another bullet hit the wall behind him. Kane laughed. Still fast, Marcus, but you can't hide forever. Marcus grabbed a wrench and threw it, hitting one of Kane's men in the knee. The man collapsed. Cal disarmed another attacker with a brutal elbow strike. But Kane moved slowly, deliberately, like a predator playing with his food. He pointed his gun at the boys, hiding behind the toolbox. Troy gasped. No, please. Kane smiled. You should blame your father for this. He pulled the trigger. Bang! The boys screamed, but the bullet never touched them, because Marcus had jumped in front of them. The shot hit him in the shoulder. He fell to one knee. Blood dripped down his arm. Troy grabbed him. Marcus, no. Cain tilted his head. How noble? Throwing your life away for children who mocked you. Marcus gritted his teeth. They're just kids. They don't deserve this. Cain stepped closer. Then die with them. He lifted the gun to finish him. Cal shouted, Marcus. But Marcus didn't move. He just stared at the boys and whispered, Run. Troy cried, We're not leaving you. Cain smirked. Then you can all die together. He placed his finger on the trigger, when suddenly the shop lights went out. Everything plunged into pitch darkness. A voice unfamiliar echoed from the shadows. Drop the gun. Cain. Cain froze. Troy whispered, Who is that? Marcus's eyes widened. He recognized the voice. It was someone none of them expected. The repair shop was swallowed in complete darkness. No lights, no shadows. Just breaths, heartbeats, fear. Then the voice echoed again, calm, steady, lethal. Drop the gun, Cain. Cain laughed coldly. Ah. So the coward finally shows himself. Troy whispered, trembling. Who is that? Who's here? Marcus pressed a bloody hand against his shoulder. Stay low. Don't move. Cain stepped forward slightly, gun still aimed toward Marcus and the boys. Come out, Cain hissed. Let the children see what kind of man their father really is. Father. The boys stiffened. Cal whispered, stunned, Marcus. Tell me that's not. Marcus nodded, grim. It is. Slow footsteps echoed from the back of the shop. Boots. Expensive ones. A tall silhouette appeared as emergency lights flickered weakly. The boys gasped. Even Cain smirked, standing there. In a tailored suit, face tight with guilt and fear was Thomas Grayson. Troy's father. Dad. Troy's voice cracked. What are you doing here? Thomas slowly raised his hands. Troy. Liam. Jonah. His voice trembled. I'm so sorry. Liam clung to Troy like a terrified child. He came to save us. Cain barked out a laugh. Save you? Is that what he told you? Troy looked between the two men, confused. Dad, what's going on? Thomas swallowed hard. I should have told you everything. Years ago. Cain paced slowly, gun still raised. Go ahead, Thomas. Tell your sons how you betrayed me. Tell them who ruined their childhood with your greed. Thomas's eyes filled with tears. Troy, boys, listen to me carefully. I made a mistake. A terrible one. Cain rolled his eyes. A mistake. You made millions in blood money. Thomas shouted. I was scared. Cain snarled. You were greedy. Marcus tried to push himself up, but winced in pain. Troy held him. Don't move, Marcus, please. Cal stepped forward slightly. Marcus, we need to take Cain down, now. But Marcus shook his head. This isn't our moment. This is theirs. Cain pointed the gun at Thomas now. You owed me $10 million. You decided you didn't want to pay. You tried to run. You hid behind your children. Thomas broke. I was going to give him the money. But Marcus reported him. Cain snapped his attention toward Marcus. You, he growled, should have died in that warehouse explosion. Troy turned slowly toward Marcus. Warehouse. Explosion. What explosion? Marcus's eyes shifted away. Cain smirked. Your precious mechanic used to be a military engineer. He destroyed my biggest operation. He exposed me. Because of him your father lost everything. Thomas shouted. I lost everything because I was stupid. I joined him. He didn't force me. Cain cocked his gun. And now you all die. Troy screamed. Stop. Cain pulled the trigger but Thomas dove in front of his sons. Bang. The bullet hit Thomas in the side. He collapsed to the floor. Dad, Troy screamed, rushing to him. Liam and Jonah cried uncontrollably. Thomas coughed, blood pooling under him. I'm so sorry, so sorry. Kane aimed again, ready to shoot them all. But Cal moved like lightning, diving, tackling Kane's arm. The gun firing into the ceiling. Chaos erupted. Cal and Kane wrestled violently. Marcus forced himself to stand, blood dripping down his arm, and charged toward them. Troy screamed, "Marcus, no." But Marcus didn't stop. He grabbed Kane from behind, slamming him against a metal shelf. Cal punched Kane across the face. Kane elbowed Cal, knocking him back. He swung his gun around, aiming at Marcus, aiming to kill. Bang. The boys screamed. Marcus staggered back, but the bullet hadn't hit him. It hit a steel oxygen tank behind him. Susha. The tank hissed violently, spraying gas everywhere. Kane turned to shoot again, but Marcus used the burst of pressure to grab a thick metal chain from the floor, whipping it around Kane's wrist. Cal seized the moment, slamming Kane against the wall. Kane dropped the gun. It clattered across the floor. Marcus kicked it away. Kane stumbled, dizzy, defeated. Cal held him down. Marcus stood over Kane, breathing hard. Kane sneered, "Do it, Marcus. Kill me." Marcus shook his head slowly. "No?" Kane blinked, confused. Marcus whispered, "You ruined one life before. You won't ruin these boys too." Troy looked at Marcus with tears in his eyes. "Marcus, you saved us." Marcus swallowed hard, voice shaking with pain and emotion. "I'm not done yet." Blue sirens flashed outside. Police finally arrived. Cal stepped back. Marcus looked at Troy. "You tell them the truth." Troy nodded. "I will." Kane stared hatefully as officers dragged him out in cuffs. "You think this is over, Marcus?" he snarled. Marcus whispered, "It is for them, but Troy." Troy looked at Marcus like he was seeing a hero, and maybe for the first time in his life, he had one. End of Part 5. Part 6 will bring the emotional ending: redemption, justice, family rebuilding, and the moral message. Just say, Part 6 you said. Part 6 600 chat said, here it is. Wasim Part 6, 600 plus words, the emotional ending. Powerful message, full cinematic closure. No filler, no dragging, just pure heart. The police station was alive with noise, phones ringing, officers talking, reporters arguing outside the glass doors. But inside a small private room, everything was quiet. Marcus sat on a metal bench, his wounded shoulder wrapped in bandages. Troy sat beside him, gripping his father's hand. Liam and Jonah sat close, sniffing, wiping tears. Thomas lay on a stretcher with paramedics, barely conscious, pale but alive. Cal leaned against the wall, arms crossed, a silent guardian, as always. A detective closed the door gently and stepped inside. "Mr. Grayson," she said to Thomas, "Kane has been arrested on multiple felonies, weapons trafficking, attempted murder, terror charges." Thomas swallowed. "What? What will happen to me?" The detective sighed. "You will face charges too, but your son's testimony and Mr. Hale's statement will help." Troy looked at his father. "Dad, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you just ask for help?" Thomas coughed, pain twisting his face. "I was ashamed, son. I didn't want you to know the kind of man I used to be." Troy's eyes filled, "But hiding it nearly got us killed." Thomas lowered his head. "I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it right." Jonah hugged him tightly. Liam followed. The detective turned to Marcus. "Mr. Hale, you saved these boys' lives." Marcus nodded slowly. "They're kids. They didn't ask for any of this." She smiled softly. "The city will know what you did." Marcus shook his head. "I don't want fame. I just want peace." The boy's face, the truth. After the detective left, Troy turned to Marcus. "Can we talk alone?" he asked. Marcus nodded. The younger brothers stepped out with Cal, leaving Marcus and Troy together. Troy took a deep breath. He looked smaller now. Not arrogant, not loud, just a boy who had finally seen the world's darkness up close. "Marcus," he said quietly, "I'm sorry. For everything. For calling you names. For treating you like trash." Marcus smiled tiredly. "It's okay. You are angry kids who didn't know better." Troy shook his head. Tears welled in his eyes. "No, it's not okay. You saved me. You protected us. You almost died for us." Marcus's throat tightened. Troy continued, voice shaking. "No one's ever done that for me before. Not even my dad." Marcus placed a hand on his shoulder. "Troy, listen to me. Your father made mistakes, but he loves you. Don't doubt that." Troy sniffed. "But you fixed more than a car today?" Marcus blinked. "What do you mean?" "You fixed my family." Marcus froze. The words hit him harder than the bullet did. Troy wiped his eyes. "You fixed what we couldn't fix ourselves." Marcus smiled softly. "I just did what was right." Troy looked down. "Does doing the right thing always hurt this much?" Marcus chuckled weakly. "Sometimes. But it's worth it." The goodbye and the BG-Ionian G hours later, paramedics loaded Thomas into an ambulance. He squeezed Marcus's hand. "Take care of them," Thomas whispered. "I will," Marcus promised. The boys hugged their father before he was driven away. When the ambulance disappeared, Liam and Jonah rushed to Marcus. "Please, don't leave us," Jonah cried. "You're the only safe person now," Liam whispered. Marcus's chest tightened. Before he could speak, Troy stepped forward. "Marcus," he said softly, "we want to stay in your life. All of us." Marcus looked stunned. "Boys, I'm just a mechanic." Troy shook his head fiercely. "No, you're the man who saved us, who stood up for us, who believed in us." Liam added, "You're our hero." Jonah hugged him around the waist. "We need you." Marcus's eyes filled. For the first time in years, he felt something warm in his heart. Not fear, not regret, but purpose. "I won't go anywhere," he said, voice thick with emotion. "You boys are safe with me." Cal stepped up beside him. "Told you," he muttered. "You were never meant to retire." Marcus laughed. "Maybe not." Epilogue. Months, later. The auto shop was different now. Brighter, cleaner, filled with laughter. Liam swept floors after school. Jonah sorted tools. Troy learned how engines worked properly this time. Customers smiled when they walked in. They knew the story. The mechanic who saved 3 boys. The man who defeated a criminal empire without lifting a gun. One afternoon, Troy handed Marcus a framed photo. It was the 4 of them, smiling. Under it, Troy had written, "Not all heroes wear badges. Some carry wrenches." Marcus felt tears burn his eyes. He hung the photo on the shop wall. Proud, grateful, home. Moral message: never judge a person by their job, their clothes, or their past. The one you mock today might be the one who saves you tomorrow. True strength is not in fighting. It's in protecting